Play, weeknights at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on BNN.
Part 2 of our Going Green series, how one manufacturer is minimizing his effect on the environment while maximizing savings. After this.
Squeeze Play, weeknights at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on BNN.
Manufacturing is not always the most environmentally friendly business, but a little more than 4 years ago, Metro Label decided to develop a new facility with a green theme in mind. Now this Ontario family-run business makes labels for companies such as Tic Tac, President's Choice and No Name, while emitting a fraction of the emissions of its competitors. When I spoke to Sandeep Lal, president of Metro Label, I started by asking him what motivated the company to take a bare patch of land and turn it into a LEED certified industrial property.
When we were looking to grow our business, we had options of acquiring existing buildings or building a building that would reflect the vision of our company and where we were going as an organization. And we felt that we would be sending a good message to our employees and to our customers about the kind of values that our company stood for if we build a green plant.
And when you started to think about that, was it much more expensive to consider?
Yes, there were significant costs involved in building a green building. The biggest challenge initially was in finding architects and engineers that had the skills to build a building of this capability. And then the second challenge was to decide which of the environmental features we could actually afford and which we would like to put in, but were not possible.
So you print labels for a whole variety of customers, different kinds, different sizes, different amounts. Let's talk about the manufacturing process. Not always a very clean process. What have you done in your manufacturing space that is LEED certified, that's green?
We actually won an award this year from the Tag and Label Manufacturers Institute, which is based out of the US, for being the most environmentally friendly label printer. And it's based on a lot of different things that we do, including our green building. But we led the marketplace in converting from solvent-based inks to UV-based inks on our printing presses back in the late 90s. And UV inks create the least amount of VOC. For flexo printing is the primary printing process that we utilize. We also utilize offset printing, lithography. And for lithography, we've gone to waterless printing, waterless offset rather than conventional offset, which eliminates the solvents that are used. Those are the two primary things that we've done. The third thing that is new for us is a reduction in the waste that we create in manufacturing. We're installing 100% defect detection systems on our printing presses so we can capture the defects on the presses as the jobs are being printed, so we can reduce the amount of waste that is generated in the printing process.
How does your ventilation system compare to others in the same space?
When we moved into, as we were planning to build this plant, we wanted to reduce the amount of electrical output and the natural gas that was used to heat the building. So we looked at our printing process, we utilized heat to cure the inks, and we found a way to recover the heat by putting heat recovery systems on our roof. So all of our printing presses are exhausted through to a number of heat recovery units that are on the roof. And in the winter months, we filter the air and we reheat the building with that. And we also installed skylights and windows in the plant area of our plant so we could have good natural lighting for our plant employees. But by doing that, we minimized the amount of lighting that was needed to light up our building, and we've significantly reduced our energy usage as a result of that.
So when you were making decisions about what you would use and where, let's talk about the office space, for instance. The materials, all in some way or other, you chose more environmentally friendly materials, is that right?
That's correct.
So what are some of those elements that you chose?
We chose initially, part of our goal was to minimize the use of virgin materials. So we used recycled drywall, we used recycled ceiling tiles. We used all the material that was used was natural material, so it was either wool, leathers, or cottons. all the glues that were used to attach the wallpaper or the carpet to the floor was all water-based glues rather than solvent-based glues. The paints that were used were low VOC paints, and then the furniture that we acquired for the office had the wood surfaces were made from wheat stock rather than from wood, and that was done primarily because it replenishes itself in a year rather than the 30 years or so that it pre-takes. So.
You also decided to use a water system that takes rainwater and uses it internally. Was that an expensive decision, and how's it working out?
That was one of the features that actually had a very insignificant payback. But we made the decision based on some of the things that the City of Toronto wanted to achieve, to capture all the runoff water from our roof and to storage in storage tanks underneath our building. We filter the water and we bring it back to flush our toilets with. The toilets are two flush toilets, so we can use less water for liquid waste rather than solid waste if our employees choose to do that. We also, the landscape that was planted around the plant was all native species, so no sprinkler system was installed around the plant, around the outside of the plant, so we don't use any water to water our greens outside the building.
Where have you seen the savings? Has it shown up in your energy bill?
The primary saving has been in our energy bill. In the first year, our energy bill was constant, even though our space had increased by more than 2.5 times.
Wow.
Our energy saving, as we add more equipment, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 30%. So our payback is less than 5 years for all the energy saving features that we put into the plant.
You also made choices like about the floor we're standing on, how you would finish it, how environmentally friendly that would be. Do your employees care about things like that?
Actually, our employees were very pleased when we walked them through all of the things. One of the core things that they've commented on is the quality of the air in the new plant and in the office space, and that's been a really good thing for us, both from an employee retention perspective and our ability to attract new employees as we grow.
What about your customers? Do you find that it's a selling feature for your labels?
One of the reasons we did what we did is because it was a way to differentiate our business, and our customers are companies, but we actually do business with people, and when they come to our facility and they look at the things that we've done for our business, it's a good reflection on our company and our people, and it endears our business to our customers.
We appreciate your time today, Sandeep.
Thank you very much for coming and talking to us.
And we will continue that series all this week, look at how Canadian businesses are tackling the issue of climate change.